So, Suzanne, thank you very much for your time. I have read well, I have read one of your books because you wrote a lot of books about it. But I read this one, The Inner Child, and um, maybe for you this is a while back, right? From what year? Do you remember?
I think it's from 2008 or 9. I don't know when it came in your land. I think
Yeah.
in Germany it's about 2008.
So the funny thing with books is for you this is very long time ago, and I'm reading this now. For me, it's very actual from this moment. But it was great to read your book. And how did you get fascinated by inner child, by your inner child?
Because of my own history. I've been to therapy in 1992 or 3, and the therapist there talked to my inner child. And that was the first time I realized, oh, there is something in me which has totally different feelings, but affects my normal life very, very, very much. And it affects my normal feelings in a way that is over the top. And my parents got divorced when I was 5, and was a lot of history. And I realized if I don't connect to this part of me, the inner child is a part of us. It's the part of the brain.
Hmm.
It's the limbic system. Yeah. So if I don't connect, it will overwhelm me. Yeah. And it makes me codependent, and it makes me overeating, and it makes me sad and unhappy.
Hmm.
So I started to care for this inner child. Hmm? And then one day I wrote a book about channeling. Very spiritual, how to channel. And I realized if I want to channel and my inner child is afraid of being ashamed about what she says, then I cannot be a very clear channel. So I wrote a little capital in the capital is not the right word. You know what I mean? A little piece
Yeah.
in this book about the inner child. You have to care for the inner child. And I had something like a magical garden where you can put the inner child and then you can channel as much as you want. And then um, the Verlag, the publisher came and said, write something about the inner child, a book. I thought, oh my God, I don't know anything about it, but that was not true. I knew a lot about it. I love it, and it's more and more and more important. And you said, I wrote this 2008, and you read it now, and nothing has changed.
Oh
It's
wow.
I would write the same thing again. I would write something more about it, and I did,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's the same.
Wow,
Mhm.
cool. So one of the striking things from this book for me was that when I channel or when I look, no, not channel, but when I look at my inner child, uh, um, it's always like the same image, but I think most people have this, that it's a very sweet and innocent and attention needing little kid. But your inner child can also be aggressive, a bully, tantrum throwing, right?
And hurt
And hurt.
and
Yes.
dark.
And dark.
And it says, no, no. This little child in us that is so sweet, so cute, that's not the problem. Yeah. You have this child in you, great. Yeah. Be cute, be sweet. Yeah. The problem is the inner child that is hurt,
Yeah.
that is ashamed, that is lost. Yeah. Um, and the inner child carries all the bad feelings we don't want to have, but they affect us in our daily lives, in our relationships. So, yeah, the work with the inner child is not, oh, it's so cute. I buy an strawberry ice. No, no, it's I see you, I hear you, I
Yeah.
realize you, I believe you, and now I'm here for you. No matter what, I'm here for you now. I save you. This is the work with the inner child.
Yeah, that's true. And the cute one is not the problem, but the shadow parts
Yeah.
are need more attention.
The hurt part,
The hurt
the
part.
hurt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I learned a lot from my real kids, from my own kids. Learned a lot from my kids. From my to They taught me a lot about my own inner child.
They
And
do.
and they're cute as hell, but they can also be hurt or sad or angry and whatever.
And you learn a lot about how it feels to be good parents and how it feels if a child feels lost, feels ashamed,
Hmm.
feels lonely. Huh? And most people I know, they have a lot of compassion with children. And when I ask them, do you have the same compassion with your inner child? No, no, no. I do this. Yeah, it's not so important. My inner child is not so important. Naja, your inner child is you as a child. Yeah. Why aren't you as important as your children, which you love? Huh? So when you have children, you realize maybe how much you are hurt, how lonely your inner child is. And most people don't want to feel that. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
They say, my children should have a better life than me. Yeah? But the way is, yeah, your children should have the best life they can have. But your inner child, you also should have the best life that you can have. And it's never too late for a happy childhood because now your inner child has you,
Hmm.
you, the grown up. Yeah? And you are the person um, which your inner child needs most. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Hey, and when we talk about inner child, I was a 1-year-old kid, a 3-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid. Which one of those is my inner child?
All of them. Sure. We have a lot of inner childs because the inner child is a picture. Hmm? Remember, it's a brain. It's a part of the brain. Huh? It's the limbic system. Because when you were born, your attention was in the limbic system. Yeah. So you saw the world, you felt the world through your limbic system. Hmm? And
Hmm.
this is what we call the inner child. And of course, there are lots of inner children in different ages, in different emotional
Yeah. Stages.
states. Huh?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's not one. There's a whole. It's a whole well world or cloud or something.
It's a whole cloud. People ask me how many inner children do I have. I don't know. There is no number. Yeah,
No.
yeah,
No.
because
It also.
it's a variety of your feelings, your experiences, your decisions, which you make unconsciously. Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I do that, I'm loved. If I don't do that, I'm loved. Huh? Mm-hmm.
And how can we get more in touch, or how can we find our inner child?
We have to accept that the inner child is a feeling part of ourselves. So we cannot think the inner child. We can think the inner child, but then it's not the inner child. Hmm? So we have to be open for our own feelings, especially for the feelings we don't want to have. Hmm? And I always work with inner journeys because I love that. Hmm? So important to know that your inner child lives in your inner world. I always show this with this. This is the Matrushka, maybe. Matrushka doll. I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, Matushka.
Mhm. It's the doll in the doll in the doll. Yeah? This is the littlest one. This is your inner child. This is your inner child. This is your inner child. And you are the grown up. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
You are the grown up. And the inner children belongs there. Yeah? Not outside. If they are outside, then they try to manage your life. Yeah? To do your grown-up stuff, to take responsibility, to yeah, to live your relationships,
Yeah.
to do your work, yeah? And that doesn't work because it's a child. Yeah? You can
Exactly.
do that. But if your inner child is outside because you don't know that it belongs to the inside, huh? Because you're not connected, you're not in touch with it. If you're not in touch with your inner child, you can be sure that it's outside and that it tries to do your grown up stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can be in a, like you said, in a relationship or anywhere. And then,
You act like a children, like a
yeah,
child.
yeah,
Mhm. Then you try to hide that you feel like a child. Yeah?
yeah,
And
of
then it
course.
becomes very weird. Huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I had an experience last week, if I can mention it. Last week I was biking home from work, and then there was the road was open. They were working on the road, and I had to bike over the pedestrian area, the side lane. And there was and you weren't allowed to bike there, so I slowed down and I half got off my bike, but there was a man standing there, and he made himself bigger, and he stopped me and he said, you cannot bike here, right? And yeah, all stuff went through my head, but I said, no, you're right, and kept walking till the end, and then I got on my bike again, no problem. But then what happened the next like 30 minutes of the bike ride home? I was very I couldn't let it go. And I was saying to myself, you're a walkover and you should have confronted him, you should have yelled at him, and or you should have done this and you should have that. And it was all very aggressive ideas. Thoughts came in my head, like really cursing at him or really pushing him, and I thought, what the hell's going on in my inner world? And I tried to push it away, like, nah, it's done. Don't think about it. And but that only worked for like 2 seconds, and then came back. And because I read your book, I was thinking, all right, so maybe there's an inner child here who's screaming and feels like I handled it the wrong way. So I stopped telling myself I did it the right way, and I started to connect with the inner child. Like, well, what's the problem? Why are you screaming? And then I had like a conversation, another conversation with myself, with my inner child, who was, yeah, who felt like, or I guess he was afraid that it got pushed over too easy or something. So it felt like felt like it should have like be more out active or really more aggressive. But the interesting part was that it was so present and it was so um, aggressive. That's when I realized I read your book that the inner child's not always the happy, friendly person, but it can be, yeah, very mean, very aggressive person. And
What happened? What happened?
I think my
There
inner,
was, you did everything right. Yeah. You were on your bicycle. Yeah. You slowed down. No? Everything was fine. You had no choice. Okay. You could have walked with your bike, but you did everything right.
yeah,
This man behaved like a father. Yeah.
yeah,
Not like a
very
good one, but like a wow. Yeah. So,
authoritative.
do you know this? An
Yeah,
authoritative father?
I
So
grew up
what
with one.
happened to the little boy? The little boy said, "Oh, not him again." Yeah? Not him again. Oh my God. Yeah? So, um, the grown-up said, what did you say?
To the yeah, to the
You
guy.
apologized.
Yeah, it was not much, but I was totally calm and I just said, okay,
Yeah.
it's there. Let's move on. I want to go
Who
on.
was not seen in this scene? Who was not seen in
Yeah,
this scene? The
the
little
little
one.
fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first thing, you connect with your inner child and tell him, I see this. You're not meant. It's not about you. Yeah.
Mm.
It's not about you. This is not your father, and you are not meant. Yeah. Because you belong. Yeah, in your just go playing. You're not meant. He doesn't see you because the grown-up is outside. Yeah?
Totally. Yeah.
And that makes the difference. If you tell him it's not about you, and you're not meant, and you did nothing wrong, it's not about you. Yeah, I see you. You are my inner child. He doesn't see you. Huh? Then you can tell the man, thank you for your, thank you for your, yeah, Hinweis. Thank you that you told me that I
Yeah.
don't dare
Yeah.
riding the bike here. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Um, okay, you can act like however you want, but it's important to tell your inner child you are not meant. It's not about you. Huh?
Wow. Yeah.
Do you feel the difference?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
And now that you mention it, yeah, of course, it made me feel like my father. And I realized now that one of his last birthdays, we had like a big party, and I didn't shave. I was like like 10 years ago or 12, 15 years, so I was very grown up. I had to shave, but I didn't shave, and my father said something about it, and there was the same response. I was so angry. I was in my head thinking all these scenarios, like I'm going to walk out of here and this and that. And that's the same guy, the same little kid I met last week on my bike.
And when you tell this little guy, you are not meant, let him talk. It's not about you. Yeah. I love you. You're safe inside. Yeah. You just can play and whatever you want to do. Yeah. Can ride the bike wherever you want in this inner world. And the grown up can respond however you want to respond. You can tell your father, I see you. Yeah? I hear you. It's my life. You can tell him, I'm sorry to bother you. Yeah? And tell him whatever you want, whatever the grown up in you wants to tell him. But it's very, very important to understand that it's not the little one.
Yeah.
If you don't understand this, yeah, it's tricky because the limbic system is way older than the prefrontal cortex, yeah, in our history, in our
Yeah.
developing history. So it's much stronger.
Hmm.
Yeah? And if there is a trigger, yeah, trigger means you know this feeling. Yeah? So if there is a trigger, then the older parts take over. And then immediately, yeah, the little one is yeah on stage. Huh?
Yeah.
And acts hurt and feels pushed. Huh? And when
Uh,
you say, Schatzi, honey, go inside, babe, go inside, yeah, go inside, go playing, yeah, go playing. So now you're calm. Do you feel this?
yeah.
Yeah, immediately you're calm. You can say, let him talk. Okay.
I think a lot of problems come from this this dynamics with inner childs, right?
Most of the problems.
Yeah. And yeah, I can look back in my life and see where my kid took over, where I should have acted as a grown up or as the adult in the group.
The most people try to act like grown-ups, even if their inner child is on stage in front, yeah. Here are the feelings, yeah. Wow. Or I feel ashamed, I feel hurt, I feel whatever, yeah. Okay. And they try to act as if they're still were the grown up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But then when you're at home, the dialogue begins. Yeah. So it's better, yeah, to have the conversation immediately in the situation. And there's just one sentence: it's not about you.
Not about you.
It's not about you. Yeah, you are not meant. You go inside playing. I'll
Yeah,
do that.
I'll do the grown-up talk.
I'll do the grown up stuff because it's me I meant.
And now, thinking back my life, especially with conflicts, this was a conflict for me with this guy. I have a lot of when I have conflicts, I always have another 4 to 20 hours where in my head, and now I realize it's my inner kid, does all kinds of reenactments with a different outcome and with
Sure,
much more violence also.
sure, sure, sure.
So it's good to know that I have an inner child, but I am not the inner child.
You are the grown up.
Yeah.
You
I'm
have an
grown.
inner child. You are the grown up, and you are responsible for this inner child. You are responsible because you are the grown up, that this inner child, which is a part of you, is safe and insecure inside you. Yeah. It's you are responsible for which part of your brain is acting.
Yeah. Which part of my
Huh?
brain am I going to use?
Are you going to use, and are you going to put the put outside is wrong. Um, which part of your brain reacts in the relationship?
Yeah, yeah,
Can
yeah.
you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Um, if somebody attacks you, yeah, of course your inner child says, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," and it becomes angry or hurt or ashamed or whatever. Yeah. So, or it goes, "Oh," huh? Freezes, huh? You are responsible for feeling this, seeing this, yeah? Not ignoring, no, no, no. Seeing this, feeling this, recognize it, be aware of it, and then respond to him, to
Yeah,
the little one, yeah? You at first respond to the little one and you see him. I see you, yeah? I see what you're feeling, but you are not meant. You go inside. You are not meant. This man doesn't even see you, yeah? So the second step then would be, but maybe my language is too bad for that. The second
let's
step
try.
would be when you're alone, yeah? Then you go to this child and ask him, okay, baby, okay, which old situation is triggered? Hmm?
Hmm.
Because of course it's an old situation, in your case maybe with your father, yeah, and this this boy still is frozen or
Yeah,
fighting in this situation with the father, yeah? So just imagine this man in the story with the bike triggered this little boy who is still in fighting with his father,
yeah.
yeah? So in an old situation, but it's still presence. It's not the past. It's still presence. Yeah.
No.
So the next step would be that you go back in the situation where this little boy really fights with his father. Hmm? You remember the situation. Yeah. You feel what the little boy feels, anger, and can't do anything about this. Yeah. And yeah, I feel maybe sogar mistreated. I don't know, huh? And then you go in the situation as the grown up from now, and you tell him, okay, I am here to save you. And then you go to the father and tell the father, I never allow you to hurt this boy again. Never, ever. I am here to save you. And now you belong to me. You say this. Now you belong to me, and I take you with me. And then you take this boy inside in the magical garden, maybe, and you save him from the situation in which he is stuck, even if it's 40 years ago.
Yeah.
He is stuck there and feels the feelings from the past, but it's not the past.
No.
We
Wow.
have to understand this. It's not the past. It's still presence because the little boy is stuck there. Huh? So you go there and tell him, it's over. And now I save you. I'm here. You're safe. And you come with me.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
everything is fine. And then the trigger fades away. Is that understandable?
Yeah, very, very much. I can totally relate to it also. I realize, yeah. Well, because of reading a book, I mean, I've know of inner childs before, but because of reading a book and I can link it to the thing that happened to me last week, I can see a whole range of moments in my life where my inner child was screaming or standing outside.
And then you have to try to control this. Hmm?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
inner child is screaming, yeah, is in danger, hmm? Feels attacked. So, and you try to control yourself not to react like this inner child would love to react or not would love to, needs to react. Huh?
yeah, yeah,
And you try to control this reaction. It's much better not to control it, but to see it and to get in touch with him and to save him. And then he doesn't need to be, and he doesn't need to scream or anything
right.
because he's
Back
safe. He's
out.
playing in you.
Yeah.
Yeah? The outside could do whatever the outside want to do.
So for me, a good idea would be to like, okay, if I notice that I feel hurt or something happens, what is going on? Who is getting hurt or who is reenacting hurt? Yeah, and
Who
it,
is on stage?
yeah,
Who
who's on
is
stage? Yeah,
who is on stage? Who is acting? Yeah. Who is outside? Huh?
yeah, who's outside? Hey, and are these inner kids? Are they frozen in time? Is that um, I can think that they're frozen at a moment, or they're still there because they were developed in a moment of pain and trauma. Is that true?
Yeah.
And then they get stuck or frozen in
They are
time, so they're
stuck
still
because
there.
nobody saw them. Nobody told them it's fine. I'll be there for you. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody was there who
So I can
told
imagine you
them.
have a lot more damaged inner child than you have happy, nothing is a problem inner childs. Is that true?
At least the damaged inner childs are
Or
more
present?
more present. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because they need to be healed. Why do they need to be healed? They need to be healed so that you can develop your emotional power. Huh?
Yeah.
If you are too hurt, too damaged, too stuck, too frozen in different situations, you cannot develop your real emotional power, hmm? Which
Yes.
is compassion.
Yeah, I'm already thinking ahead. I'm looking at my life and think there's a lot of inner childs, a lot of people with inner childs who are at the front, right? I'm even thinking about politics. There are a lot of angry
Inner
kids out
children
there.
in the sand, yeah, playing war.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah,
But also my
yeah.
relationships. My dad. I think I was raised by an inner child.
We all were.
Huh?
We all were, because there was the war
Yeah.
and the war before, and there was no awareness for all this. Yeah? It's our we have to do this. Yeah? We have to stop this. We have to develop. We have to grow up and to become conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, consciousness for all this. And if you don't, if your inner child is outside, children are unconsciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they are. So you react unconsciousness, and then you try to control your reaction.
Yeah. 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 With another inner
Okay,
child, maybe.
yeah, you can do better. Yeah, you can be a real grown up, and then you can act. Yeah, from the frontal cortex here. Yeah,
So,
you
so
can. Hmm?
how does this relate? How does inner child therapy work?
Inner child therapy is, people come to me with a problem. They say, "Oh, I always had the same relationship. I am codependent. I am this. I am this. I am co-narcissistic, or whatever." Yeah, or I always fail with money, or whatever. And then the first thing I'm looking for is, who is the one
Yeah.
who is in this relationship, who does the work, who tries to earn money. Who in you is the one who tries to, yeah,
Yes.
to live your life? And then we almost, yeah, we always see it's a little one
Hmm.
which is hurt and which tries to heal by fighting the same fights all the time, or which is totally devastated and thinks, "Oh, I never be in love with somebody, I never will be happy," or whatever. Yeah, it's always a fight about energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, about, do you see me? Do you see me? Do you love me? Do you have what I want to have? Huh?
Mhm.
And the answer, of course, is no, because I'm not your mother. Hmm? Hmm? But I know who has what this little one needs. It's you. Yeah, it's you. Huh? Um, the moment the grown up understands that he is responsible, and not only responsible, but able to care for this inner children. Yeah, he is able to do this because this is him. Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah, this is you, just in little. Yeah, of course you are able to care for you as a little boy. Of course you are. Yeah, yeah. Um, it's not very complicated. Yeah, it's just, you go inside. It's really as simple as that. You go inside. You have a home inside. Yeah. And then your inner power will heal you. But if it's outside, your inner power, your inner immune system,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
emotional immune system, do you say this? How do you say it?
You're.
Healing power, your inner healing power, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I know what you mean.
Your inner healing power cannot touch, cannot reach this little boy if this little boy is not inside you. Huh? So our own responsibility, or our only responsibility, is to realize if the inner child is outside or if it's inside. Yeah? And you feel this by feeling, do you feel as a child? And you have to control your reaction? Or do you feel safe and grown up and empowered? This is all we have to do. But this, of course, is a huge, huge field.
It is. It is big. But
Hmm.
yeah, very effective, very fascinating. I yeah, I'm going to let this sink in for a while.
It makes a huge, huge difference
Yeah, I can imagine totally.
if you understand that you are the one your inner child needs. Yeah, you are the one. Everything my inner child is searching outside. Yeah, it's looking for outside. I just have to tell him, hey, baby, hello, hello, turn around, look at me. You're mine. I'm the mom. I have everything. You're fine. Okay. And then
Yeah,
I can react like ever I want to react. Huh?
yeah.
Huh?
So I guess the first step is to realize when you are acting out or when your kid is taking over and when you are in control as an adult, right?
The first step is to accept that you have an inner child
Oh
and
yeah.
that you are not always the best you can be. Yeah? That you sometimes, most of the time, are affected
Yeah.
by the
Good
the
sound.
the fight for love.
Wow.
Huh? Yeah, this is the first step. Yeah. And then the second is to realize when this happens,
Yeah. When?
huh? In which situations, where your trigger is. And
Yeah.
you are always in the consciousness of the inner child when you try to control yourself. When you have the feeling I have to control myself. Yeah. I'm overwhelmed uh, with feelings. Then it's most of the time the inner child.
Suzanne is very helpful for a lot of people. Um, Thank you very much. We're already already over an hour almost. Um, but I have to I have to I have to take a minute to let this sink in. But my final question for you, if I may, is what question I always ask to my guest: what makes a good therapist?
To be aware of the own triggers, hmm? To heal the own codependency. Mhm. And that makes you, that enables you to really see the other one. Yeah. And not to project my themes. Yeah. Yeah. Not to, yeah, you know what I mean. Hmm? Um, it's to so that I really can see you and your problems. That means I have to know myself and I have to solve my own problems and I have to be there as a grown up and not as the little Soothie that wants to be seen, that wants to be good, that wants to save the world,
Hmm.
but the grown up that say, okay, I'll be there for you and I help you by helping yourself. That's the difference.
Yeah. So I can
I'm
imagine
the grown up.
what a mess it will be if the therapist is acting as a kid. That's probably also happening sometimes, right?
And there are so many who does that,
Yeah. Yeah.
who are acting as a kid that wants to be great
Yeah.
or wants to be right. Yeah? Or try to save the other one instead of at first saving himself.
Yeah.
If I try to save you, but I'm not safe, then I don't give you the space to develop. I'm in need to save you. This is codependency. Huh? And I cannot, I cannot realize what you really need because I'm stuck in
I'm
what
looking
I
at you.
think I need. And then I throw it over you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Fascinating, Suzanne.
I
Thank you.
seriously hope you understand what I say. I seriously hope this. It's a very complex theme, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that my book is in your language.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
And it's a great book to read. You have a lot of. It's nice to read because you give some also some tips to get in touch with your inner child. And first part, and there's rules in it. So and especially after this talk, it's really yeah, we really need to make people more aware of their inner childs. So,
absolutely.
so thank you for your time, and for myself also, it was very fascinating to dive into this topic again. Thank you very much.
I thank you a lot, a lot. And I thank you for your patience. And I hope you learned something, and I hope you understood how important it is to care for your inner child. And I hope you who are watching us is I hope my English is okay. Yeah, I really hope so. Okay. So then close your eyes. And there's nothing left to do. Nothing to do. Just breathe and be there. Breathe, be there, and believe in your inner pictures and your feelings. Imagine a door. You walk through this door, and now you are in a very healthy, beautiful nature. You feel safe, comfortable, relaxed. This is your inner world. And in this inner world, all your different powers live. In this inner world, somewhere, your inner children are living. And maybe they are lost in this inner world because you're not in touch with them. So they are not in touch with you. They even aren't in touch with each other. So maybe it's a good idea to call your inner child. And you don't have to know which one you call. Just call that inner child that wants to come, that wants to be seen, that wants to get in touch with you. So do that now. Just call in this beautiful nature in your inner world. I call you, my inner child. Or you have a name which you loved as a child. So you call. I call you. I want to know you. Please come. Let me see you. Yeah. And now there is a child which you know, or a child which you don't know. Doesn't matter. It's a child. So Look at this child. How does it feel? What do you think? What do you realize? How about you go to this child and tell him, I see you. I hear you. I am there for you. I believe you. And maybe, if you want to, tell him, I love you. I'm here to save you. And you'll never be alone again. Because now I'm here. Now I know about you. I know about your existence. So you'll never be alone again. And how does it feel to be in contact with your inner child? Tell him, you know what? In this nature, there's a place which is your place, your home. Everything is exactly like you need it to be happy, to be safe, to feel loved and free, to just be yourself. So if you want to, put this child at the hand. Take his hand. You walk along a way through this nature. And this nature gets magical, becomes more and more magical, beautiful. Maybe it's like a fairy tale world in which you are. And now there is another door. It's a golden one. The door to the part of your inner world where the children live. And you both cross that door, step through that door, that golden gate. And now, both of you, you are in the most magical, most wonderful place your inner child ever has seen. There are huge trees, there are animals, flowers, angels, everything your inner child needs to feel safe, happy, loved, and just to be itself. A very bright angel comes to you and touches your inner child very gently, very softly, very tender. Immediately, everything that your inner child carried for other people, parents, sisters, brothers, falls down to earth, fades away. Everything your inner child carries, the burdens that your inner child carries for others, just fade away, just dissolve, while the angel is touching your inner child. And you see it healing. You feel it heals from being lonely, from being overwhelmed, from being hurt, from being ashamed. And that feels very, very good and free. And you feel lighter and lighter. You know your inner child is safe here. This is his home. This is the place where it belongs to, while you, the grown-up, do your grown-up stuff. So, tell your inner child, this is your home. You can stay here. You never have to go outside. This is your home. You belong to the inner world. You belong to the world of happiness, of love, of safety. And here you are secure. You just can be what you are and do whatever you want to do. You can play the whole day. You can sleep, you can fly with the angels, climb the mountains, climb the trees. You can do whatever you want to do. Play with the animals. And now that you know your inner child is safe, in a safe place in your inner world, loved and safe, you can slowly go back to the door, to the gate through which you came in. Now you cross the gate. Now you're the place where you started. You feel your body, you take some deep breath, and you know your inner child is safe and secure. And it's there where it belongs to be, in your inner world. It's an inner child. And you, the grown-up, you can manage your life. You can do that. The inner child can't, but you can do that. So now you're back. And you open your eyes in your time. Maybe you need a little while, a little time for you to write things down. Then just stop the video and join us later. Maybe you want to join us now again. Yeah. Thank you very much.